is a veto, are political compulsions really behind all of this? And that's the specific point we need to ask today. And I want to first begin with Professor Mandal once again. Professor Mandal, look, I have some numbers on my screen and it does show that in Bengal, for instance, this is a major factor. The CAA will, of course, influence minorities. 34% is the influence across very many constituencies, the swing factor in 4 seats, possibly even more. Some people say even 8 seats. So you have therefore decided to allow the Muslim community there to have a veto over a central law, which will be serving as a lifeline to Hindus. The BJP says more pointedly that, look, you are trying to deny that there is Islamist radicalism directed towards Hindus and other minorities in these 3 countries that border India, because you want to continuously argue about Islamophobia. How do you respond to this, Professor?
Your question in a way suggests that the law is communal. That's why you have brought in this minority issue in Bengal. I will answer your question, but before that, I think the statistics that Mr. Jethmalani was referring to, if you look at the 100-year census since 1901 or 1911, the maximum number of influx from Bangladesh took place during these 2 turbulent periods, between 1941 and 1951, obviously because of the first partition, and again between 1961 and 1974. Because in 1971 there was no census because of the war between Bangladesh and East Pakistan. And you know that in Bangladesh war India participated, and that's history. During that point of time, only 5 to 6% of Hindus jumped or crossed border to India. And most of them, since 1951, most of them, in fact, all of them are now Indian citizens. Now, case in point is Assam after 1971, where people who even came before 1971, 12 lakhs of them are Hindus, are in detention camp. They are known as D-voters. Now, what you effectively were going to do by bringing this law for them, because mind you, this law was principally recommended by Mr. Hemanta Biswa Sharma. He made Amit Shah recommended that this law must be implemented before NRC is put into place, because these 12 lakh Bengalis are Hindu Bengalis, they are suffering in the detention camp. Now what they will have to do if they want to apply within this law, they have to first declare themselves as Bangladeshi. Because in Assam, largely this, refugees or the people who are suffering in the detention camp are from Bangladesh. So they have to declare that they are Bangladeshi. They have to surrender their Indian Aadhaar card, voter card, whatever, and then they can apply for this law. And even then, there will be serious scrutiny before they are granted citizenship. I think this is a jumla of worst kind before the election.
Okay.
I would say this is, I think, the narrative of fascinating deceit.
Very quickly,
Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah,
Professor Mandal, very quickly,
this country before the election.
Very quickly, Professor Mandal, very quickly. The Chief Minister says she's not going to allow the CAA to be implemented. How can she do that? Is that not a jumla? Sorry, are you not fooling the voters?
I tell you, in Bengal, I've given you the statistics, we do not need such law. But the people, whoever is residing in Bengal, all of them are Bengali citizens, especially our Motua brothers and sisters.
Oh, right.
70 lakhs of them.
That's why they are voting for the BJP and celebrating the CAA.
Most of them came from, they are not voting for BJP.
Well, they are celebrating the CAA, sir, and it's there. No, but they are also voting for the BJP.
One part of them are celebrating, right?
One part.
Only one, this is BJP's part, yes.
Oh, the BJP part.
Influenced by the BJP.
Okay.
Mamta Bala Thakur.
Because I don't know who's dividing on the basis now.
TMC's MP, right?
Okay.
And Binapani Devi was TMC's favorite mother.
Right.
Everyone knows in this.
Let me also tell our viewers.
We don't want any CAA in Bengal because that is redundant.
Okay. Fair enough, viewers. The state governments cannot decide that they will not implement this law without being in contempt, viewers. So let me put that out there. I've already mentioned this. This is a fact, can't be challenged. This law, as you know, viewers, has been implemented under the union list of the 7th schedule of the Constitution, and we've given you the details already. So that cannot be done. That's perhaps the biggest jumla here, but that I'll come to in just a few moments. Sanju Verma, you were raising your arm. You want to respond to Professor Manojit Mandal. Why are you insisting on a law that Mr. Mandal and the TMC says is so discriminatory?
Okay. Rahul, I will start by giving out some very pertinent data because, the BJP has been very clear right from the start that the CAA has nothing to do with Indian Muslims. The CAA only seeks to give legitimate citizenship status to persecuted minorities from Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Now, you must be aware because you do number crunching yourself. There were 7 lakh Sikhs in Afghanistan way back in 1970s. Then come 1992, after the Afghan civil war, the number of Sikh population reduced dramatically from 7 lakh odd to about 2,20,000. You will be surprised to know that even at the start of 2021, just on the eve of the Taliban capturing Afghanistan, there were only 400 Sikhs, and that number by the end of 2021 had fallen to 150. 150 Sikhs only from 7 lakh Sikhs in 1970s. Now, for the longest time, Pakistan does not have a population census that has been conducted there, but nobody is surprised. In the 1990s, Pakistan had 20,000 Sikhs. Primarily, they stayed in the Khyber Pukhtunkhwa area of the Peshawar region or in the Nankana Sahib region of Punjab province. From 20,000, it is said that today, not even 1,000 Sikhs are there in Pakistan. Now, let's come to Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, in 1974, there were 83,000 Protestant Christians. Today, that number is less than 8,000 Protestant Christians, Baha'is, people who follow Judaism, put together are less than 0.8% of Bangladeshi population. The reason I gave out data on Sikhs, Christians, and of course Hindus who've come down from a percentage of 27% in Karachi to barely 2.5%. What does this show? It shows that in Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Pakistan, be it Christians, be it the Sikh community or Hindus, they have been persecuted because when numbers come down 20-fold, 10-fold, it is not an organic fall in numbers, but it is because of persecution. People have fled those countries and have sought refuge in various places, including India. So first and foremost, has there been persecution? There has been persecution for the longest time. Are Muslims a minority in Bangladesh? No. Are Muslims a minority in Pakistan? No. Are Muslims a minority in Afghanistan? No. So for you to say why the law does not talk about Muslims in these 3 countries, because Muslims in these 3 countries are a majority. That is the second point. Third point, why is it that the law is only limited to persecuted minorities from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan? Why not from Nepal? Why not from Mauritius? Why not from Maldives? Why not from Moldova? All I'm going to tell the Congress and the other side is you come to power, you can give protection, rehabilitation and preservation to minorities even staying in Timbuktu and Botswana. Currently, the Modi government is in power. It has decided that we will focus on Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan. आप आइए सत्ता में Timbuktu के लिए कानून बनाइए. My fourth point, please bear with me for 20 seconds. My fourth and most important point. The BJP has not done anything new. On the 8th of April 1950, 1950, Pandit Nehru and Liaquat Ali signed a pact for the rehabilitation, protection and preservation of minorities in both countries, India and Pakistan. Unfortunately, on the 8th of, in October 1951, Rahul, what is this?
Please, Professor
I'm just finishing my argument.
She never interrupted you. Let him finish. Let her finish. You can come back and respond. No problem. Let's be civil. Yes. Yeah. In
1951, unfortunately, Liaquat Ali died. But Gulzari Lal Nanda, who was the Labour and Employment Minister of Nehru and the Home Minister under Nehru, said later after Nehru's demise, that if there is one thing Nehru should have done and he did not do, it was implementing the Nehru Liaquat Pact.